now. But Emma Lawson is just 5 points back. Alex Kazan is 25 points back. 3 women in a battle for the third spot on the podium. And there's our overall leader, Laura Horvath.
And I don't imagine she has any problems with any of these 3 movements either. So she's got to be excited about the event that's looming here. And I feel we can put Tia in that same boat.
Tia Toomey has 2 event wins. Laura Horvath has 2 event wins. And each of them has 1 finish outside of the top 10 coming into this event. Adrian Keys here.
Yeah, the keys are accuracy matters, and that includes the box jump and the handstand walk. And it's a lot of volume of upside down, so you've got to have confidence there, making sure you're handling business the way that you can. And jump and tuck on those box jumps. We saw someone with an athletic background like track and field, Danielle Brandon, in the last heat have great success. We're going to see. We know that that's in the back pocket there for Tia Claire Toomey. That could be something that she excels at as well. Gets off to a fast pace and might get an early lead coming right off those boxes.
There is Emma Lawson, who fell 1 spot after the last event from 3rd down to 4th, but only 5 points back at Gabby McGowa for 3rd place. Alex Kazan in the gray shorts in the middle of your screen. She is also in that fight for 3rd place. First of 5 rounds starts with those 6 box jumps at 36 inches. Again, just about less than a meter that they're having to vault here.
Now, there's one difference already. Tia Claire Toomey is not putting her hands on the box. She literally jumped straight down, and that gained her just a couple seconds of an advantage here to come away from the box early.
It's Toomey, Lawson, and Horvath, the first 3 women to the first handstand walk. Toomey is out front here looking to make up a 15-point deficit on Horvath for the top spot in the overall standings. Toomey is through.
And again, there's a lot of time that can be lost in these transitions. If you're confident upside down, you've got to keep your foot on the gas pedal even on this dummy run.
Emma Lawson is even with Horvath and McGowa. Lawson looking to finish ahead of McGowa to try to get back inside the top 3 as Tia Toomey leads early here at the end of round number 1.
And Tia looking strong upside down, and you wonder, historically, Tia knowing Laura might have some weakness with inverted movements. Is this an opportunity for her to make up some points? You certainly like the chances for the champ to capitalize and close the gap there on the leader here a little bit in this event.
Toomey into round 2, Horvath into round 2, McGowa and Lawson right behind her, and Alex Kazan is there as well. Christine Kohlenbrander very tight here.
And here it is, more of the same. Tia using no hands on the descent. Watch how it takes Laura about a half a second longer to bend over, put her hands down, and then drop down. And Tia makes up that time for every repetition. And that's going to add up throughout these 5 rounds.
Toomey off now on her 2nd round handstand walk. Here come Horvath and Lawson. So Lawson right now ahead of McGowa. McGowa's in the brown pants, right side of your screen. And Emma Carey is there as well. She's on the upper part of your screen now in the all black. Toomey has already made the turn on her run. Tia Toomey starting to open up a little bit of a lead here in the 2nd of these 5 rounds. 50 total scored repetitions, and the time to beat 6:52.39 seconds from Danielle Brandon.
Yeah, and again, when we watch women do something like this, Sean, 50 feet consecutively, unbroken handstand walk, you're like, wow, it looks so easy. Folks, it's not easy. And it's not easy for anyone that's completely fresh, and these women are not fresh. This is event number 8 of 4 days of competition. They have been through the ringer, and yet they continue to move with such proficiency, and they train at such high volumes and at such a professional level that they do make it look easy. But don't be mistaken, it's not easy.
Toomey into round 3 along with Horvath and now Gabby McGowa. And Emma Lawson moving her chest piece as well. Lawson on the bottom right part of your screen. She's got to really be focused on Gabby McGowa, who's on the left in those brown pants. That's the battle for 3rd place right now. Lawson trailing McGowa by just 5 points in the overall standings. Lawson coming off a 7th place finish earlier today in Hulk Hands. She's only had 1 finish outside of the top 10.
Yeah, she's been very consistent, which is something that we've noticed from Emma as she's even stepped on the scene just a couple years ago. And she's in a great position right now. She's going to be within striking distance of even being able to potentially close the gap on Laura here as we get into these deeper rounds. we'll see if Laura's able to sustain the threshold pace that she's at right now.
Tia Toomey still in the lead as she's making her return trip on this third round. Laura Horvath just took off on the run. There's Toomey working her way back. Lawson is now slightly ahead of McGowan. And Emma Carey is starting to move up as well. Emma Carey pushing Laura Horvath for second place in the heat right now. Here goes Horvath trying to catch up with Tia Toomey. Toomey has moved her chest piece and she is into round 4 now. 6 more box jumps at 36 inches for the 3-time Rogue Invitational champion, 6-time fittest woman on earth. There is Emma Carey. And Carey in 6th place overall, 425 points, 65 points back of Gabby McGowan.
Yep, so that podium still a very realistic threat for Emma Carey. She has an opportunity to get there with this and one more scored event left to go. And I know that she's got that in the back of her mind. She can walk on her hands as fast as anyone in the field. So I'm sure that's where she's been able to make up a lot of her ground. As we saw, the box jump for Emma Carey is something that was still taking her a bit of time. She's one of the shorter athletes in the field.
Laura Horvath is still in 2nd place now. Emma Carey is in 3rd. Toomey has made the turn on the run here as Laura Horvath closes out her first handstand walk. Toomey will handstand walk her way back. Emma Carey on the right side.
Yeah, and that's where you saw step for step, she's a little bit quicker on her hands, and that's where she's able to close the gap on Laura a little bit each round. Laura still looking like she's in control, though, there with that 2nd spot for now.
Carey has now just made the turn on the run. Emma Lawson is ahead of Gabby McGowan as well. So keep an eye on that race as Tia Toomey will head into her 5th and final round. 6:52.39 seconds. That's the time to beat for Danielle Brandon in heat number 1. Final round now for Toomey. Laura Horvath coming back to move her chest piece. Almost runs into a camera person on the way back. Now Horvath heading back to the box to join Tia Toomey, who just has 1 rep remaining. So Toomey's done.
This is also where we see how much urgency Tia has to finish to try to beat Daniel's already set time at 6:52.
Emma Lawson is now onto her box jumps, and Emma Carey, will keep an eye on her. She's on the far side of the field in lane 10. Laura Horvath takes off. Emma Carey is on her last box jump, so Carey now in 3rd place. But what's important for Emma Lawson is that she is leading Gabby McGowan. That's the fight for 3rd place right now as Tia Toomey's on her way back, and Danielle Brandon's going to win this event. She was the only woman to go sub-7. Some of the times from heat 1 starting to be a factor here, but Toomey doing all she can here in this heat, leading Laura Horvath as she tries to cut into that 15-point lead that Horvath has right now for the top spot in the overall standings. Toomey is done, and Tia Toomey will get across the finish line and take heat number 2. Now the question is, how many points will she pick up in the process? Laura Horvath looking to be the next woman to finish. As Manon Anganese is now going to move her chest piece. She's into round number 5. Here comes Laura Horvath and Emma Carey. And Emma Carey has passed Horvath. This is going to be close. Horvath may have edged her out. And she does by 0.2 of a second, and that is big. As now Emma Lawson is in ahead of Gabby McGowan. But remember, we still have times from that first heat that are going to affect things here. And here comes Gabby McGowan with less than a minute to go. Horvath may have saved herself 5 huge points as she tries to hold off Tia Toomey heading into the final event. There's Manon Anganese going through her final round of box jumps. Danny Spiegel is now working her way to the finish line. There goes Danny. 30 seconds to go before we hit the time cap as Spiegel comes across the finish. Lauren Fisher just about done. Alex Gazan is done. Gazan was trying to battle with Lawson and McGowan for third place overall. She's going to fall back in that battle. And that will be the time cap. Tia Toomey will win the heat as Lauren Fisher is still on the field, but she will not win the event. The question now is, how many points did she pick up on Laura Horvath as we head into the final event of the competition?
Woo-wee, it's getting exciting, and we're going to have to see that when these points get all tabulated and official, of course. But Tia did exactly what she needed to do in order to create a little bit of a less cushion there for Horvath as the leader. And it was Tia right out of the gate. She did tremendous on the box jumps. She was smooth and fluid on the handstand walk, and this is the separator here between her and Danielle Brandon. Danielle Brandon just with more speed, covering more ground every time she put her hands on the ground. But Tia leading the way in the charge all the way through, going unbroken on each and every handstand walk. On the jumps, she chose just a different strategy. No hands to the box. She was going to free fall to the floor every time and quickly jump and tuck her way back onto the box. And she was in control this entire event. And then, of course, the finish and the cheer for the crowd. She's got to be pumped about that.
Here are your event results. Danielle Brandon picks up the win, her first of the competition. First Rogue Invitational win of her career. Danielle Brandon with those 100 points, moving her up the overall standings. Tia Toomey, well, this is big. Looks like she has erased that deficit, taking second place and earning 95 points. And we could have a tie atop the overall standings as Laura